Hey guys, this week I want to talk to you a bit about what downsizing and simplifying your life actually means to me. A lot of times I feel like when I talk to people, I meet people, they are very fixated on that downsizing is about items and about stuff and how much stuff you can have or not have. And that is part of it, but it's not at all of it. So I really want to just put it out there, make a video about what it actually means to me, because it's so much more than just the amount of stuff you have. I'm really sorry about the rain. The cars are going by really fast and it's raining like crazy today, so I hope you can't hear that on the video, but you never know. Anyways, okay, the common thing is that people walk up to me and they have this idea that I don't own anything, that to downsize you can't really have any stuff in your life. You have to live in a tiny house or a tiny house on wheels, or in an apartment or house that's completely empty. And I understand where that perception can come from, but it's just not what it's about. For me, downsizing and simplifying is not the same as being a minimalist. Some people will probably say that I'm a minimalist, and I definitely have adapted some of that mindset, and a lot of it overlap. But to me, downsizing is really about making conscious choices. So it's about really being present and knowing, what do I want in my life, what do I choose to have in my life, and what do I actively choose not to have in my life. And that applies to a whole bunch of areas. So it applies to my finances, how do I want to spend my money and how I don't want to spend my money. It applies to how I schedule my time, how I spend my time. And it also applies, of course, to the space that I choose to live in, the amount of square feet that I choose to have. And of course, I like having a minimal wardrobe. That's why I do it. I feel like it gives me a lot of freedom. But the whole concept of simplifying your life, I feel like, is a lot about choosing, not just letting life pass you by and just hopping on a train and you don't even really know where you're going, or you're just going the same place as everyone else. And there's no bad thing in owning a house, having a mortgage, doing all that stuff, or working full-time instead of staying home for the kids. It's all about priorities, really. You can do whatever you want, you just can't do everything, if that makes sense. And I think that's why the mindset of downsizing and simplifying is just so helpful to me, because it kind of keeps me in check all the time. So I have to evaluate on at least not daily basis, but at least weekly basis when it comes to finances, or monthly basis when it comes to throwing things out. And it's just this lifestyle of knowing what you bring in and knowing what you want out. It's also this mindset of not being controlled by what you own. And don't get me wrong, it's not about not owning anything. Downsizing or simplifying your life does not mean that you have to not have a car or drive an old rusty car that's falling apart. I know some people think of it as anti-materialism. I like things and I like quality items, and Morten loves tech, and we have stuff, and we enjoy every once in a while to go out and buy something that's really good quality. So it's not like we don't spend money on anything, if that makes sense. We just know that if we spend $1,000 on something, then we can't spend it on something else. And it sounds super basic, and it is, but still a lot of people struggle with it. We just don't want the items that we have to control our lives. We don't want to have to go to a job that we don't like to pay off a house that we don't really need. So it's not that we don't want a house, we just don't want to sacrifice having a job we don't like and being unhappy in that situation for the house, if that makes sense. Downsizing to us is to live with the things around us that we really love and enjoy, and the things that we actually use. Now, what you choose to have in your life and prioritize spending your money and time on, that varies. It depends on you, and it's entirely up to you to decide. Don't feel like there's this pressure or a mindset within even the simplifying community that you have to do things in a certain way. You don't have to be completely off-grid. You don't have to be an artist. You don't have to be a DIYer. You can be whatever kind of person you are. For us, it's a really big priority that we want to be able to have financial flexibility because we like doing startups and being entrepreneurs and stuff like that. We love traveling. And we love that more than clothes, if that makes sense. If you are not that keen on traveling and that's not a big urge for you, then you have a lot more money to spend on different things or save or whatever. Those might not be your preferences, so you just have to take an honest look at your life and your skills and your dreams and then figure out what's most important to you. Of course, downsizing is super practical as well, but it's really about finding the right size space to fit you, your dreams, and your wallet. So if your bank account says that you can't really afford to do all of those things in the current space that you're in, then it might be time to do some physical downsizing as well. So that's it, guys. This is just a really broad overview, I know, about what downsizing and simplifying means to me and to Morten, but I'm really curious to know what is most important to you. So how would you define simplifying or downsizing? If you would let me know down in the comments, I would really appreciate it. I love reading through you guys' comments. And what areas is it most important? Because there is money, and for me a big thing is time scheduling. So I really use that mindset of choosing what I want in my calendar and not. It really stands out quite clearly in the planning section. So I'm just curious, let me know down below. Anyways, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That will help it reach more people. And share it with your friends if you want to. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.